Trigger warning. In this episode, we talk about bullying, self-harm, sensitive topics, and there's foul language. Viewers' discretion is advised.
Hello, friends! Welcome to our podcast, The Celtic Coven.
I'm Cheyenne.
I'm Sage. Grab your cup of tea.
Or a cup of coffee.
And let's get comfy!
Hello. Hi. Welcome to this week's podcast.
Yeah.
So, today we have our friend Sami. Say hi.
Hello.
And our topic today is going to be like school. So our experiences that we have, and just talk about memories or sad things, whatever. Just school in general.
Yeah.
Everything about school. So
we're all graduated, obviously.
Yep, out of high school. And Sami and I actually met in high school.
Yeah.
So I think you should tell from your perspective, because we actually just moved to the city, my sister and I, and so we were at a new school and everything, so I don't know anybody, and it was lunchtime, and I was sitting at a table by myself. You gotta tell your perspective of
Okay, so I was sitting with three guys that I was friends with at the time. It was Deshaun, Austin, and Chase. And we were all sitting at the lunch table, and Chase looked at me, and he was like, you should try and go chop it up with that girl that's sitting by herself. And I was like, okay, bet, I will. And so like I walked over to you, and I immediately got so nervous. I was like, hi, I'm Sami. I saw you sitting by yourself. What's your name? And you're like, I'm Cheyenne. And I was like, do you want to come sit by us? And, and you're like, sure.
And I think it's so funny because I didn't even like realize that you didn't really like be like, yo girl, what's up, what's going on, you know what I mean? So you were just really awkward, and I thought you were really nice, and I was like, okay, I don't have any friends. And then like, so I think it's so funny because as soon as I went over there, like your friend Chase, I was just like, damn, he's beautiful. Immediately, and that's all I was thinking about the whole time sitting there. I was just like, damn. Boy.
Oh my god.
Yeah, well, and like I just remember when you came over to the table with me, they were all like staring at me like, who's this? And I was like, this is Cheyenne. Yeah, she's gonna sit here. And like you just like sat next to me, and I remember you were just like staring at Chase. Like, I remember that specifically. You were just staring at Chase.
He was just so gorgeous. This is so funny.
It is really funny.
Oh my gosh, I can remember so many things that happened in that fucking lunchroom.
You know what's really funny too is that like after that we didn't really talk a whole lot.
Like, I mean, I saw you and I said hi to you because like I knew you.
Yeah, right. Like we were like friendly, but we weren't like friends yet. Like I don't think that actually started until like junior year of high school.
Yeah, like, sophomore.
It was like the end of sophomore year.
Yeah, sophomore year.
Yeah, because like that's when we started hanging out a whole lot, and we just I don't know, like we didn't hang out like at all, like for like all through freshman year.
Well, yeah, I mean it was nice like knowing somebody, but I also was talking, I guess in quote, talking to people in other classes, but I really didn't have any friends or anybody I hung out with freshman year for sure.
Yeah.
And then sophomore years when like I met our friend Penny and stuff like that, and that's
a whole weird
that's
thing.
a whole nother story.
That's a whole other
But like, yeah, just like finally starting to hang out with people my sophomore year.
Yeah, well, I just remember, like, I don't know what was going on with you for the beginning of that, like, for freshman or sophomore year, the beginning of sophomore year, but I remember that I was going through a lot. Like, I like, a lot of my friends, like, stopped talking to me for some stupid shit.
Yeah.
And, like, the girl that I had a crush on, she, like, stopped talking to me over some stupid shit. And then I, like, decided, I was like, I'm gonna try out for the track team.
Yeah. Gotta do some sports around these parts.
And then that same dude, Chase, he, like, I've been talking to him about playing football for, like, 3 years, like, since we were in middle school. And he was like, you should totally join the team. And that's why I like went into track, because he was doing track, and he's like it's a great way to meet honeys. Like,
Hey.
Yeah.
I remember you always standing out in front of the school greeting everybody.
Oh my God.
And I would like get off the bus and I would walk up to you and just stand with you out there, and you're like so emo. You were so emo with like green hair and everything, and it was just so funny. And you're like, "Hi, good morning."
You just unlocked a core memory, and I don't know why that's so cringy to me because I remember that, and I don't even know why. I don't even remember why. I just remembered that I got up every day and I decided to look like Billy Joel Armstrong every day, and I would go stand out in front of the school, and I would just greet people as they walked in. I don't know why. I was like, I don't have any friends. I got nothing better to do. Just what? And I said hi to everybody too. People I didn't even know. People that
hi.
Fucking
Hi. Good morning.
Hi. Good morning.
Hello.
Well, and I think that's how a lot of people knew who you were, because like you weren't like popular.
Like, you know that weird kid that stands outside the school
like,
and say
Sami.
hi? Be like, yeah, that's Sammy.
They're kind of cool, but
I would also like compliment people too. I'd be like, I really like your shirt, and they'd be like. They like take their headphones out and be like, what?
And you're like, I said it the one time, I'm not saying anything.
I feel like that was just like me trying to like get my confidence up for no reason. Like just trying to
for
be...
no reason. I mean, it's a good reason.
Yeah, but I mean like, I don't know, like I went through a lot of I stopped doing that at some point that year, didn't I?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Would someone tell you to stop doing it and be like,
no,
you need to not stand out here?
They just got something to be real with you, man. Like,
yeah, it's a little
you
creepy.
need to go. Just go
creepy.
be a regular student.
You know what? That actually reminds me, because I did stand out in the front of the school. Like one of my friends, Ash. You remember Ash, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh,
and,
yes.
And, Alice. Oh my god.
Oh my god,
I was so
unlocking all the doors.
Oh my god. So, there was one morning that I met them in the front of the school, and I had told Ash, I was like, I was like sad or whatever there, and they're like, what's wrong? And I'm like, it's my dad's birthday today. And Ash was like, oh, tell your dad I said happy birthday. And everybody was like, bro, their dad's dead.
Ash, oh shit.
Yeah, the Alice Twitch.
My bad.
Bro, their dad's dead. Fucking Alice Twitch.
Dude, I'm so over school with stupid bullies. Oh my god. I don't even know where to begin with that because it goes back far.
Yeah.
It goes back so far. I've been bullied all throughout school.
Same.
And we're gonna make this funny even though it's not. Okay?
How to make trauma funny 101.
Literally. Like, I remember so I had gone to Bertha school and Wadena school and then Columbia Heights.
Right.
So in Bertha school, that was before 3rd grade, okay? And I don't remember too much from there. I just knew that, like, I had 2 friends that were girls, and one of the girls stole my necklace, and she was a stupid little bitch. And I didn't like her very much, but those were, like, my really 2 closest friends. But I remember being on the bus in Bertha school, and Skylar got everyone to start calling me Stupid Smeagol. Everyone was calling me Smeagol.
That's like a very small memory that I have of briefly
I was
like
so
you
upset.
being called Smeagol.
And everyone did. And because I had like these buggy eyes, and I low-key still do. But like, but it was just, that was
you
like
grew into your eyes.
But anyways, so that happened for a while, but there's like not a lot of people who really talk to me. And then Wadena, I started going there in 3rd grade, and everyone was making fun of me because I was short. So I was like really short, and so everyone called me Shrimp.
That's so stupid.
That's my name. They call me Shrimp.
They know nothing about you at all, so they just come at like the way you look.
You look like a shrimp. You're so small. Like, goddamn. And like, so then during Wadena, I had like, obviously I can't spell. I still can't spell. But like, so I had problems with that. And also I had a really, really bad like baby talk voice. It was really bad then. So I was in like a speech therapy thing. And people made fun of me for that too. And there's probably like one time that there was something wrong with the buses, and so one of the shorter buses had to come pick us up one time. I know. And so I remember being picked up and dropped off at the school, and people were making fun of me because I got off the short bus.
Oh, you rode the
short
bus?
They were like,
so
you're retarded. This,
oh
and
my
that.
God.
And know what made it worse? Is, okay, I'm like a loving, caring person. I accept everybody, okay? And I was friends with this kid. Okay, actually, in Bertha school, I was friends with this kid named Brian, and he had Down syndrome. I actually went over to his house and hung out with him. It was a great time. Like, he's just a normal person, okay?
Right.
And in Wadena, I had a friend who also had Down syndrome, and his name is Bobby. And so with the combination of me getting off that short bus one time and people seeing, and me being friends with a kid who had Down syndrome, everybody thought that I was stupid and had Down syndrome or was like retarded or something.
That's so stupid because it's like you're just being nice to someone who is just like a regular person,
Literally.
just has some troubles, and now you're making fun of a person who has a little struggle speaking and writing.
Yeah.
Kids are assholes.
Literally. And then I get to Columbia Heights and just people were mean there.
You can't even put your finger on it, too, with Columbia Heights, is that it's just, like, they're just rude.
They're just mean.
They're just
Yeah.
rude for no reason.
Sorry, not sorry. But, like...
It's like passive-aggressive almost.
Yeah.
And then at moments it's like super aggressive and you're like, where did this come
I
from?
can't even tell you because, I mean, there's, like, just side comments where people would say little things to me. Like, there's not, like, something super significant besides, like, the one thing I'm about to tell you.
Before you get into that, let me talk about something.
I know. But there's just little things that people would say to me or call me stupid. Like, constantly, that's been, like, a consistent thing throughout my whole school career of feeling stupid. Everyone called me stupid. I felt so stupid.
Okay, I just remembered this. This totally was something that was so stupid for like a week and then I forgot about it. It was in Wadena, I think in 5th grade. Either 5th grade or I think it was because it was in the new school.
Mm-hmm.
There was a whole thing of like in gym you get changed in your gym clothes and stuff like that. This is so stupid. People would think, the girls kept thinking I was looking at them in the locker room.
I remember this.
Even though in the locker room I would just talk to people, no matter what. I'm like, I don't care. And they would think I was looking at them, and they called me lesbian for it. And I was just so confused because growing up, we were accepting of everyone.
Yeah.
Turns out I was pan anyway.
Yeah.
But
See what happened was.
like, it was so weird because I was like...
But you weren't looking at them.
No, because it's like, I was just standing there talking to people.
Yeah.
And so there was a whole thing of them thinking I was lesbian, and then I had to talk to the office about it. And I was like, I just talk to people. I'm not looking. Because I'm not like that. I'm not just going to be all like in this room full of half-naked girls being like, yes. In 5th grade.
You know what? Just to touch on that for like half a second. So
it was so weird and so stupid. And
I
I'm
feel
like,
for you because being that I do play on a team with all women, it's really hard not to look sometimes.
but
like,
for me, it was like, it's 5th
not
grade.
even
I'm not
talking-
even thinking
I'm
about
not even
it.
talking in any type of way. I'm talking in like the sense of like, okay, I'll tell you, for example, last year we were in Iowa, and I think we were in Iowa, and we were getting changed before a game, and I just so happened to look over and like see, I was just not even looking at any particular direction. I was just looking over and I saw one of my teammates like boobs out. Like they were all out.
Straight.
And then as I look away, I catch, like I'm like, oh, I'm not looking at that. And I looked away and I saw another one of my teammates boobs out. I don't want to say it like, I don't want to be crude, so I don't want to call them titties. We're just going to call them boobs, okay? But it was just so like, it's really hard sometimes, like even when you're in 5th grade, like it's really hard not to look. Cause it's like, I mean, especially at that time, I'm not accusing you of anything. I'm just saying, like, in general, like, in that time of your life, you get to be a little bit, like, you get to be, like, curious and, like, want to know. Yeah. But, like, I'm not saying that you did it. I'm just saying that, like...
No, I get that. I'm saying, like, at that time, that wasn't something I was really thinking about.
Right.
I'm just like, okay, we're getting changed for gym class, and I'm in a conversation with you.
Right.
I'm not gonna not look. I'm not gonna be like facing the lockers and being like, yes, this is great. Like, I'm gonna look at you in your face, and that's what I did. I looked at people's face and was like, yes, we're going on our conversation, and they're like, she would look at us in the locker room, and I was like, you guys are so weird.
That is
like,
so weird.
Just because I'm a person who wanders too. Like, I just look around when I'm just not doing anything either. And so, like, you guys are so, what's the word? Like, about themselves.
Yeah,
almost.
like they think that everybody's looking at them when nobody is.
And I'm like, dude, I'm just wanting to get changed for gym class.
I didn't even go into the bathroom. If I knew that I had, because, we had a block schedule, and it was, like, every other day. Like, we had 4 classes one day and 4 classes the next day. Like, I would literally, on the days that I had gym, I would just wear my gym shorts underneath my pants, and I would wear, like, a t-shirt underneath my t-shirt underneath my hoodie.
Is that what were you... You kept... I remember you wearing, like, shorts underneath your pants.
And also after a while, it just got to be, like, comfortable to wear shorts underneath my pants, because I'd wear pants to school, and then at the end of the day, I'd be like, get these bitches off.
Yeah. Take those hose
but
out.
no, I was just gonna touch on the, like, I wasn't even talking about that. I was also bullied a lot throughout my entire life.
Oh.
I can't remember the schools that I went to, because I was... Fun fact about me, I was in foster care for a long time when I was a kid. So, when we moved around a lot too. We moved around to a bunch of different states. So I went to a lot of different elementary schools. But I do remember certain things. Like when I was in kindergarten, I used to get made fun of a lot for having like really greasy hair. Like this is a topic that came up my entire life. Like I had really greasy hair, like I didn't take care of it or whatever. It was like kindergarten and first grade.
You're dirty.
Yeah, right. And also like I was really poor growing up. So like my mom would find me some pants, like a pair of pants that would like fit me really well, and she'd buy me like a couple of different pairs, and I would get made fun of for wearing the same pants to school every day when I literally had like 3 or 4 pairs.
Multiple pairs of the same thing.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And like I was also really chunky. Yeah. Like when I lived in, this is actually like, really funny. So I was really chunky, and when I was living with my foster parents, Gigi and Daryl, in Tennessee, I had gotten stuck in a tube slide.
Oh my God.
I had gotten stuck in a tube slide, and the fire department had to come out and like they had to like take the slide apart and like cut me out.
Oh my God.
Like, I'm not even joking, dude. This is real shit.
I can't imagine.
And it was so terrible. It was so bad. Like, I was so embarrassed that I didn't want to go back to school for, like, 2 weeks.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah, so, like, nobody had remembered, so I never really got made fun of for it. But, like, I've been made fun of a lot my entire life. And then, like, when I got into middle school, it kind of, like, when I came to Heights in middle school, it kind of stopped a little bit. Like, it wasn't like, they weren't making fun of me, and this is what I said earlier, they weren't making fun of me for any one thing.
Yeah.
It would just be like you said, like, little small comments about me.
Yeah.
That they would say, like, around me.
Or it would be, like, super passive-aggressive comments or something.
Yeah, or it'd be like, oh, I heard that so-and-so likes you, and then you'd go up to them and be like, hey, oh, so I heard you liked me.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, oh, no.
yeah,
right.
Oh, that is so mean.
Until I got into freshman year when I would stand out front and talk to people.
Yeah.
And greet people in the morning. And people made fun of me for, like, being emo and, like, cutting on myself. Because I used to do that, you know?
Yeah.
I didn't do that so much in high school, but, like, when I was in middle school, I did that a lot.
Yeah.
And people would make fun of me for it. Like, oh, you're emo? You know what I mean?
Yeah, back off.
Yeah, back off. But that brings us around.
Oh my God!
To this next discussion. Before I get into that, though, so this girl Alice that I mentioned earlier, she had this strange thing that she did. We called it the Alice twitch, and she would basically just like swing her head to the side every time
like
she
it was
would,
like a twitch kind of thing.
Yeah, like, but it was like emphasize something, like every time she wanted to like make a point, she would like twitch, like be like, hi, I'm Alice. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like twitching on the word she wants to emphasize.
Emphasize.
Emphasize. sized.
But no, so what I'm trying to get to is that I had this friend, we'll call her my friend. She was my friend throughout middle school and into high school, but then we started dating and her name was Michaela. Mm-hmm. And she broke up with me freshman year while I was trying to talk to this other girl. It was like a whole thing. I was being kind of like a fuckboy, but not actually a fuckboy. And so I like made out with her in the girls' bathroom right across the hallway from the lunchroom downstairs.
Yeah.
And so like I was making out with her in that room or in that bathroom. Yeah, restroom. In the bathroom, and she like told me that she couldn't do this anymore, and I was really upset about it, and I told Alice about it, right? And Alice like had taken me under her wing with Ash at this point.
Yeah.
And like I was a part of that group.
Ew.
Right? But I wasn't. And she like this was like literally a week before what happened to you.
Oh my god.
And she like went up to Michaela and told her, because Michaela had like 2 buck front teeth kind of.
Yeah.
She had the London look. Let's just say that.
The London look.
Okay.
And she like went up to Michaela and she was like, why don't you let me straighten those teeth for you? Yeah.
Oh my
and
god. She's just on some dumb shit.
And she also like tripped her in the hallway and she fell on her face, right?
Jeez.
Yep. And then after that, like Michaela reported it. She got suspended for 2 days. And then when she came back, I remember specifically like sitting in the lunchroom and we're all like chilling and we're all having a good time, and all of a sudden Alice is like, it's Cassidy? Is it Cassidy? Was that the other chick?
Yes!
The blonde bitch.
Oh!
Yeah.
I hate these people so much.
Yeah, and we're all sitting at
so random.
We're all sitting at the lunch table, and Cassidy and Alice are like, oh my god, there's Cheyenne.
Why? Okay, I was dating Dylan at the time.
Yeah, and he had just come up to the table and said that you broke up with him.
Yes. And so that, I think, what triggered the whole thing. But they even made fun of me because, I'm not going to tell some secrets, but something happened. And
I remember this.
And so apparently I was like, because things happen. And I was like, oh, I don't know, he came and blah, blah, blah. But it was like an iffy situation because it wasn't like in when it happened. So I was like, I know, excuse me. And excuse the profanity. and so I guess maybe, I don't know who heard about it, like how, somebody figured it out. But I guess they thought he only fingered me at the time. And I'm like fully like, no, there was that, but there was also more happening. And so I remember them saying to me one time, like, you can't get pregnant by fingers. And I'm sitting here like, no shit.
Right. And
I know that.
And that's literally, Dylan came up to the table and he like told us that he had broken up with you or you had broken up with him.
Yeah,
either
we
way.
had broken up.
Yeah, and Cassidy had mentioned, like, he was, like, talking to her, and then she was like, what? And she was like, oh, doesn't Cheyenne know that you can't get pregnant from fingering somebody? Right. And then she was like, oh, there's Cheyenne sitting over there, adjacent table. And I don't remember if it was Alice or it was Cassidy, but one of them picked up a fucking apple, and, like, they're like, I'm gonna.
It was eaten, by the way.
It had a couple bites.
No,
out of it. No, I swear to God, I remember this. Apple. I thought it was a full apple.
I grabbed it and it was fully like 8.
Oh, was it?
Oh yeah.
I swear to God, it was like a full apple or something.
It was not a full apple.
Either way, the details of the story don't.
I don't know.
Like,
they're implanted in my brain. Okay,
you're like, I know
that's traumatic.
I
to
thought
me.
they didn't hit you. I thought they hit Ashley
No.
right next to you.
No, it fully. Okay, excuse me. Let's continue the story. They grabbed that stupid apple and threw it at the back of my head.
Yeah.
And that fucking...
Ridiculous.
It hit the back of my head, and I was so shook. I was like, what the hell was that? And then I see this apple on the ground, and I'm sitting here, like, wanting to cry, because I'm like, did somebody literally just throw an apple at my head?
Yeah.
And that was a whole... I don't remember what happened after that.
I don't remember either. All I remember is that, like, we were all sitting
that was
at the
one
table.
day.
Yeah, that was one day, and I remember...
Was that at breakfast? Or was
no,
that the day before?
it was at lunch. It was at lunch.
Okay, so then the next day, I remember being in the hallway, like the science hallway.
The pool hallway.
Walking from the science hallway to the pool hallway. And I was walking up the stairs, and I was walking with a couple of my friends. And then I had my hair up in a bun, like I usually do. And then, next thing you know, Alice had a hold of my bun, and she pulled me down to the ground and started dragging me and threw me against the wall. I'm sitting here shook because I have no idea what's going on. Like, why are you about to, like, jump up behind me and do this? Like, why are you...
Why are you jumping me?
Yeah, why are you jumping me? Like, why can't you... If you want to fight me... Why don't you just be like, yo, Cheyenne, and I turn around and be like, we're fighting now, and I'll be like, oh, shit. But,
like sneak attack type
Sneak
shit.
attack!
Yeah, literally, because she was
And she,
fucking
like, pulled me
coward.
down. I literally was like, yeet! And I fell to the ground, and she's dragging me by my hair. Threw me against the freaking wall, like, 3 times. And
hate that.
She got up and started trying to, like, swing on me and she's pushing me. But I'm sitting here, like... defense, the fuck? And then she grabs my hair again and starts dragging me and throwing me against the wall again. And then finally, at one point, she, like, let go. And I'm just, like, wailing because I'm like, I don't know what to do here. And I don't even know what happened. That happened so fast. And then I was so angry because, FYI, this is at 7 o'clock, like, 7:30 in the morning. It was before first hour.
It is 7 in the morning.
Literally, that's what got... I'm so tired. Okay? It was before first hour. Okay?
Even before first period?
Yes.
Oh my...
And I guess I was swinging at some
too.
point, and then she was far enough away from me, and I was so pissed off because I'm so confused about why she's even fighting me. There's no preamp stuff about what she doesn't like me about.
Like, no one was all like, oh, she wants to fight
Like, this
you.
all happened in, like, a 2-day period.
Exactly. And then I'm just, like, I was so pissed, and then I started running towards her to, like, I was literally about to jump on her and start, like, I was so angry, and right before I started running towards her, and who grabbed me? Some tall guy came in between us and grabbed me and took me down the hallway a bit of ways away from her. And
you're like, let me get a hit in.
Was it Ryan? Because Ryan was the one, he was the tall blonde kid that was like, he was like filming it. He was like recording it.
No, Ryan didn't grab me. It was somebody else. I don't remember who it was. Somebody grabbed me. Because everything was just like a blur to me. Somebody grabbed me. This man is carrying me away. And I just started bawling my eyes out. And he walked me to the office. And then they're like, what happened? I'm like, this happened. And then
this dude fully like white knighted is like, come here.
Literally, I was starting to run at her. And he like came in between and swooped me away. And I was like, whoa.
Do you know if you got any hits in?
I'll get to that.
All I know is, from this situation, is that Ryan was recording this.
I didn't know he was recording. I later saw the video. Where's that video? After
well, I have no idea where that video is, and I don't want to see it because it's terrible.
Too much.
Because all I know is that she grabbed you from behind. She started. Sorry for what I'm about to say. She started like mopping the floor with you.
Yes, that's literally what she did.
And you reacted so fast. You're like punching behind you.
I remember that too. I was like, bitch, let go of my hair.
You were like, with both hands, you got both your dukes up, fucking punching behind. You're like, I don't know what punching at, but I'm punching.
That's the stupidest thing in the world, though, because it's like, it's one thing if someone out in public comes up behind you and starts attacking you.
That's one thing? Question mark? I don't want some rando jumping me.
But like I'm saying, like coming up behind you and sneak attack. But in high school, if you want to fight someone,
usually people just go straight up.
Just go straight up and be like, hey, let's fight.
Yeah.
And be like, okay, I guess.
Yeah.
Well,
not just coming up behind you and going, damn,
so
like
snatching her.
Snatch.
Yes, snatched.
I remember just wailing for no reason. Like I literally didn't know where I was.
I feel like I would do the same thing.
I couldn't feel a thing. I didn't know if I was touching, like, if I was hitting her or not.
Your hair was pretty long, too, so you, like, I didn't remember if you were actually hitting her, but she was, like, a good distance away because she had you by, like, the ends of your hair.
I think I, like, yeah, I know. Okay, so we're in the office, and I talked to Beasley, and they look at, like, the cameras and stuff, and they saw that she did come up behind me and jump me, so I was defending myself. So I didn't get in trouble. And so she got called into the office, and I think she got expelled.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she got expelled.
She got expelled from that, but they let me go home because they're like, this is a lot.
Yeah.
So I go home, and bitch, oh my God. I remember going home, and I went home, and I was like, I need to take a shower. Because I just needed to wash it all off of me. Because that was just too much. And I'm in the shower, and when I took down my hair and started running the water through my hair, so much hair came out.
I believe it.
And the wall of the shower, because I just kept putting it on the wall, so it doesn't go down the drain. Literally, that wall was, like, covered with my hair. And that was... I'm not going to get cry here, but that was, like, very traumatizing for me.
Yeah.
Because seeing all my hair on the wall, I literally cried in the shower because I was so upset about my hair. I was so confused about why she fought me. I was so confused about just the whole thing. And I'm sitting here like, it's literally the morning time. I know nothing about why you're even doing this to me.
I was
and then on top of
in the
that,
hall.
literally, and then like my hair is very important to me. And then I go home and like literally like half of my hair is on the freaking wall. And I was just like, what even just happened?
Yeah.
Later, somebody said, oh, yeah, you hit her and she had, like, a bump on her head. I don't know the truth. I don't know what I did.
She deserves it if she got hit. Like, if you actually made contact.
You would think that was the end of Alice, right?
Sorry.
So, not to change the subject, but, like...
No, I need to get off of that
kind of, though, but, like... So, later on in the year, Ash, who used to go by Asia, by the way, that's, like... her name, but then she changed, like, she kind of just started going by Ash, and she, like, hit me up on Facebook, and at this time, like, around this time that Cheyenne had gotten, like, essentially beat up.
Yeah.
Jumped. Not even essentially, like, you got jumped. Ash and Alice were dating. Yeah. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah,
but then they broke up after that because she got expelled.
Yeah.
And Ash is like, oh, I have a conscience. I can't, whatever. Like, I have to, like, do what's best for me. Da, 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 da.
Yeah, whatever.
And Ash, like, hit me up on Facebook one night. And she, like, told me that she liked me. And I was like... I, like, had never been with, like, in a relationship with a girl before. But, like, I, like, wanted to be. So I was like, I like you, too. But I, like, feel so bad because I wasn't, like, really that... Into her, yeah. And she, like, the next day, she, like, walked me into school, and she, like, walked me to my first class, and she tried to give me a kiss, and I was like, literally, like, pulled away.
This is just, like, a brand new thing.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm so sorry. And then, like, she asked me to the Sadie Hawkins dance, and I was like, this is, like, a whole week. So, like, I don't remember the days in between, but, like, we were, like, walking together and holding hands together and stuff like that. And then she brought me to the Sadie Hawkins dance, and the day before, Alice had, like, messaged me on Facebook, and she was just like, I don't remember exactly all what was said, but she was like, I heard that you were dating, Ash.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna beat your fucking ass. I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna come to your house and kill you.
Oh my god.
Right? And so,
problems.
At the Sadie Hawkins dance, like, Ash had found out about this, and we were, like, having a good time, whatever, and she was like, I have to break up with you in the middle of the dance. As I'm, like, starting to, like, kind of be into it,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, like, I could see this.
Yeah.
Like, I could see this being
going for that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for it. And then she was like, I have to break up with you because of Alice. Alice said that she was, like, gonna beat the shit out of you, and I don't want that to happen. Yeah, right?
God.
You're like, I can defend myself.
Yeah, no, I couldn't. I was small. Literally. But no, she was like, I'm gonna have to break up with you. And I was like, alright. Like, dump me in the middle of the dance.
That's way too crazy.
Yeah, I know. That is really crazy. But everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
Moving on to do bigger and better things.
Oh my god. What kind of, like, did you have any, like, learning problems in school? Because I feel like a lot of people forget that not everyone, like, learns the same. And that's something that I was kind of talking about earlier, where people were making fun of me because, like, I can't spell and, like, I had a lisp and stuff like that. So it's just, like, I've always had, like, learning problems. And so even in, like, middle school, I did classes, like, just, like, assistant classes, like, just, I don't even know how to explain it.
Yeah.
What it was. And I know in high school I just left for a little bit to check in with somebody, and they asked if I needed help with anything. But I know I've had a really hard time with learning because I just learned different.
I never had, like, specifically that. I had really bad anger issues when I was in school because of just, like, the situation that was going on with me, like that I said earlier.
Yeah.
And I had this thing called an IEP. I have no idea what it stands for now. But basically, they just thought that I had social skill issues because of how angry I was. Because I would, like, I was bullied a lot. And so I would, like, retaliate on my bullies with physical violence.
You're like, I'm not going to put up with this.
Yeah, legit.
Like, you're going to be mean, I'm going to punch you in the face.
Yeah, really, honestly.
I wish I was more like that. Because I was really, like, I just was so sad, and I just kept to myself, and it created, like, this social anxiety, and I've had anxiety, like, all my life. And
well, I think it was hard too, because I feel like you probably feel the same way, Sammy, is like, we moved schools, like, going from Wadena and being there for years, and then moving schools after having all these connections was so hard.
Yeah, like, it was a completely new place.
Because in middle school and high school, I always felt like the odd person out because all these people went to elementary together.
Yeah.
And then when I got to middle school with them, they all already knew each other and had their friend groups.
Yeah.
And stayed in it. And then in high school, too, it was the same thing. So I always like, oh, yeah, I'm laughing with you guys. I'm hanging out with you. But at the end of the day, you guys are probably going to hang out after school, and I'm not.
For sure. I mean, I definitely understand that to a certain degree, though. I mean, because being that I did move around so much, I never, like, this is kind of sad, I never really had any, like, friends.
Yep.
Like, in elementary school at all. Like, I didn't have friends. I didn't have best friends. I didn't really talk to anybody. People would bully me because they didn't know me.
Yeah.
And then I would, like, in turn, like, flip desks on them and stuff. It was really dramatic.
I know, like, I would talk to people in class, like, people that you would see every day, and you'd be like, hey, what's going on? But they all had their little groupie thing, and I was just there sometimes. I never had, like, a true, really good friend ever where I felt, like, 100% comfortable, accepted, until, honestly, I met you.
Yeah.
And when we met, and then we started hanging out more, like, you're, like, my first ever, like, real friend that I've ever had.
I feel like that, too. I mean, like, when I moved to Heights, I didn't talk to anybody for the first couple of weeks, and then I, like, met Pearl, Michaela, and Sarah.
Yeah.
And we became friends, and I got so excited after my first day of hanging out with them that I, like, ran home, and I told my mom, I was like, oh my god, I have real friends. And it was really sad, and then, you know, they ended up, I mean, Sarah's really cool. She's always been really cool, but, like, Michaela and Pearl, like, Pearl moved away in 7th grade, and then Michaela ended up just being a bitch. And then, you know, like, that whole situation, so I feel that 100%, because, like, when me and you started hanging out, like, it felt like, and I'm sure you feel this way too, but it felt like, oh my god, there's finally somebody that, like, kind of understands, like, what I've been through, and that I can, like, talk to, and, like, just be friends with. And like, we used to be so goofy too. Like,
I know.
We used to hang out all
just
the time.
so dumb and just doing stupid stuff.
I know, that's how I feel with my friend Adrian. I know he's listening. Hello.
Hi, Adrian.
Hi,
like,
I know you.
I know you.
Because he moved schools a lot, and because he moved from Illinois, I think, and so he was new as well, and so we kind of, like, fell in and was like, yeah, we're these new people that they're friends with, but not really deep friends with. And so me and him got along really well, and we're still friends. We don't talk a lot because we're both busy all the time.
Same.
Yeah, but, like,
sorry, bro.
Yeah, sorry.
but, like, if I had a car at the moment, I would be like, I'm picking you up right now and we're gonna go hang out.
Dude, that's literally what me and Cheyenne used to do.
I miss living 5 minutes away from you.
Right? You'd be like, hey, you want to come over? I'll be like, oh, yeah.
Hell yeah. And we would just sit and talk and talk and talk.
But he's the only person I really talk to anymore.
It's so nice when you get to finally find that person, because I remember there were so many... this is going to get weird for a second. So I remember that there were so many nights that we'd sit on your mom's front porch and just talk about nothing. And I even remember, like, sometimes weird shit would happen. Like, we would be sitting on the porch, we'd be drinking or whatever, like, whatever we'd be doing. Yeah. And we would be, like, talking about, you know, just life experiences are getting really deep. And then there was this one time that we were doing that, and this drunk lady, like, walked into your porch. You remember that? Yeah, because we heard them, like, fighting down the street. This is just a side thing.
Oh my god.
This is just a sidebar. But, like, we heard them fighting down the street, and we're like, what's going on? And then we were, like, still kind of having our conversation, and she, like, was, like, stumbling up the street, and she, like, just barged into the house, like, barged onto the porch. She didn't see us. She's, like, knocking on the door, and we're like,
I know we're sitting there, like, sitting frozen, trying not to be seen. We're like, this crazy lady, like, we're not here. We tried so hard.
Yeah. And then I, like, finally said something. I was like, do you need something? And she was just like, she was, like, incomprehensible. Like, literally.
Yeah,
you could not understand anything that she said, but her, like, wrist was all fucked up and broken. Do you not remember that? Because you came up from not from downstairs. You came out of your room because you were like, what's going on? And, like, me and Cheyenne were, like, let's just say not of sound mind.
Yeah.
And I, like, grabbed a big-ass glass of water, like, ice water, and I stuck her hand into it. You remember that? I was like,
this will make it feel better.
Because you didn't have any ice packs. But you had ice. I don't know if you had bags or not. I couldn't remember.
I don't know, but I think she, like, lived down the street, and, like, she was in an argument with her boyfriend or something, and he kicked her out, or she had lost her phone in an Uber or something, and they were fighting.
Now I remember.
I can't even tell you, like, what it was about. Whatever. Random sidebar.
Point of the story is that it's really nice to have, like, really random things happening, like, with your friend. Like when, like, I can't tell you, like,
I was driving around, just, like, after school hanging out, and we're just driving around.
Or even, like, when my mom kicked me out in my senior year of high school, and I came and, like, lived with you for 3 weeks or something like that. And I was, like, still really depressed, but, like, we still had a lot of fun. Yeah. Like, I remember we would go, like, late night driving.
Yeah.
And that was fun. And we would go late night driving, and we would talk about, like, nothing.
Yeah, just random things.
Yeah. It was really nice, and I miss that a lot. And now,
me too.
Now I have this thing called a wife. And I love her very much. If she ever listens to this, I love her very, very much. I love her very, very much. And I just wish that, like, we could hang out more. I just wish she liked you more, you know?
Yeah.
Because I think that that's what, like, really puts a dampening on your friendship with people, is when, like, the person that you're with doesn't really particularly
I know. And that was just, like, in high school, too. I think just so much drama happened, and, like, in high school, you know what I mean, where it's just, like, random drama things, and I don't know if it's just created, like, a idea of, like, who I was. I don't know.
Yeah, like,
you know what I mean?
Like, kind of like first impressions last forever, but really it wasn't, like,
But it wasn't even a first impression. Like, I mean,
we did dumb shit to each other all the time. Like when we worked at Jimmy John's together, and you got mad at me and you left me at Jimmy John's because I was being an asshole. I will admit that I was being an asshole, and then, like, literally 2 weeks later, you were being an asshole to me, and I left you at Jimmy John's.
Whatever.
And, you know, like, shit happens when you're young and you're, like, in a friendship with somebody. You do dumb stuff, especially, like, when, like, I don't want to say that guys don't have their problems, but, like, especially when you're teenage girls.
Yeah.
And you've been through some shit, both on your own and together.
And I think that's why we connect so well, because we relate with a lot of stuff.
Right. And, well, and just, like, I think that's why we were fucked up to each other. Yeah. Because, like, when
we're
like,
both damaged.
There's actually something that Hannah says that's really true. My fiance, actually. She says that, like, the reason why, like, when me and her get into an argument together, for example, like, later on I'll be like, well, why did you do that? And she's like, well, because I know that you love me and I know that like we're gonna get through this and we're gonna figure this out.
Yeah.
You know, and it's kind of the same with me and you.
Yeah.
Like we treated each other like shit sometimes because like we know who we are.
Yeah.
And we know that at the end of the day, like we're gonna get through it.
Yeah.
I mean, no matter if we stop talking for a certain amount of time or not.
I miss seeing you every day though.
I know. It was so much fun. I mean, it sucks being an adult because you can't like responsibilities of life.
I know. Like, that's the one thing about school is, like, I mean, there's, like, a lot of bullies and stupid things and just things that don't matter. And I think that's one thing, too, that we knew, like, high school stuff
didn't matter.
We were very realistic with, like, this is real life. We've experienced, like, real life poor people shit, you know?
Yeah.
And so this stupid petty stuff didn't matter. And so then, like, that just... I don't know.
I think, like, what I mostly take from high school are the good memories that we have together. Like, I think that one of the most prominent things that I remember about school with you is the first time that me, you, and Mikey all skipped school. And that was fucked up. Because we skipped school and you called your boyfriend at the time.
Yeah.
And he came and picked us up and you were like, you showed me your phone. You're like, do you see this circle on my phone? I have to,
the Life 360.
Yeah, you're like, I have to stay within this circle.
I know.
And then, like, you turned it off because we wanted to go to one of these parks or whatever, and you, like, turned it off. And we're, like, hanging out at the park. I still have that picture on my phone somewhere.
I know.
Of all of
I
us.
have it, too.
Although I cut out Aiden.
Yeah.
But no, we took a picture all together, and we, like, drove back to the parking lot of where Rainbow used to be.
Yeah.
And we're sitting there, and your mom calls you, and she's like, where the fuck are you? I need you to come back to the high school right now. Miss Vanessa is wondering where you are. Because there was some other shit going on there that we could talk about at a different time.
Yeah.
But she was like, where the fuck are you? I need you to come back to the high school. And me and Mikey are sitting in the back seat, and we're looking at each other. And he's, like, mouthing to me. He's like, can you ask her to get us out of the car? Like, can you ask her to drop us off? And I was like, hey, Cheyenne, like, can you, like, drop us off at, like, Keys Park or something like that so that we don't get in trouble for trying to re-enter the school?
Yeah.
And you were like, yeah, whatever. Like, you were so irritated because not even at us. Just
no,
at
I was not
situation.
even at you guys. I was just mad at the situation.
And then we, like, walked back to the high school and I had to go to practice that day. And it was, like, the worst practice I'd ever had in my life. Oh, my God. Or all the times, like, I don't know if you know this or not.
You guys brought me... I think once or twice to skip school.
Yeah.
You were like,
do you want to just leave?
Yeah.
Let's go.
And I was like, okay. And we left.
Or, like, Cheyenne would, like, text me in the middle of third hour and she'd be like, you want to go get McDonald's after this? And I'd be like, hell yeah, let's go to McDonald's. And we would leave the school down by the band room.
Yep.
Did you know that after we left, they put alarms on all of the doors because of us?
There were
Really?
still a couple doors that did not have alarms on them. There were a couple because I hated leaving through the front.
There weren't
of the
alarms on
school.
those doors down there? And then us...
They were time sensitive. I'll let you finish this thing, but they were time sensitive alarms. So, like, the reason why they never went off, the reason why we never set them off is because we never held them open for more than a second.
Yeah.
And the alarms that they put in they weren't time sensitive. They just went off when you opened the door during school hours. But yeah.
But I hated going through the front of the school to leave the school because I would walk from the school to work or whatever. So I would leave from the back of the school from, like, the science hallway. And, like, there was the one door that, like, would not go off. And I would leave through that door.
Yeah.
And because they were like, all these doors are alarmed so you can't leave through them and stuff like that. And I was like, this doesn't.
I specifically remember that the door underneath the pool hallway never was alarmed, ever.
Yeah.
It is, though, now.
I believe that.
Yeah.
That's so shitty. School is like a prison. Like, let's be honest. Like, school is like prison.
Yeah.
I mean, you're allowed to leave at the end of the day, and you're not, like, getting... I mean, I was going to say you're not even getting shanked in the hallways, but, I mean, you could.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, and even the food is
You
kind
never
of the
know.
same.
School is prison.
It is prison.
I think the only time I've ever, like, left school was with you guys. But I've skipped classes before.
Yeah.
Just, like, with my friend Tamisha. Just because we didn't want to go to, like, a specific class. we just hung out into the bathroom and watched Netflix or something.
That reminds
And then
me.
the bell would ring and we'd go to our, like, third block or something.
That reminds me of, like, going to choir and stuff with you. And just, we had amazing choir teachers until...
Mr. Broski.
I remember we were very mean to him.
We were so mean to I was especially mean to him.
I feel bad. Remember when you drew that picture and put it on the door and I was walking by when he saw it?
Oh my god,
and
yeah.
whatever. But we, like, you know, we didn't like being in that class because he was not the greatest, most sensitive teacher in the world.
Oh, he was kind of a dick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so we just didn't go. And so we hung out and, like, on the stage in the gym. You remember going there? Ah! And it was just like we were just hang out there.
Because you could get there from the band room, and Miss Walls gave me a key to the band room.
Yeah,
Remember? Yeah, because I would, like, go... So Miss Walls was the band teacher that year, and she would let me, like, go into the band room and skip class and, like, sleep and stuff because she knew I was, like, going through some shit.
Yeah.
And, like, I took Cheyenne, I took you into the band room.
Yeah.
And we went up onto the stage, and we were just fucking around. Like, we were just doing some
But
dumb
remember
stuff.
there's times where there's gym going on, so we had to be quiet.
And we would, like, peek through the...
And we would giggle.
And be like, who the fuck is there?
Oh my
There's a couple of times where Mr. Lears would, like, come walk over to the stage and we'd be like...
Oh my
It
god.
was so fun. I think that senior year was probably my favorite
That was
year.
probably the funnest year.
It was, because we just... Like, I busted my ass junior year so that I could... So I could fuck off senior year.
Yeah.
So I could fuck off senior year. Like,
I mean, senior year, I was taking, I did after school because I was failing so much. I was failing a lot of my classes, not because of skipping, but because, like, my learning disabilities. And so I would have to go to, like, this after-school thing and do a bunch of worksheets and then turn the stuff in so that I could get the credits for school.
oh my god,
I
credit
did that-
recovery?
Yeah, credit recovery, yeah.
I did that for health. Because I wasn't able to be placed in 10th grade health in 10th grade because they didn't have enough room for me. They just, like, didn't let me take it my 10th grade year. So they put me in it my junior year, and I failed. Don't ask me how. I do know how I failed because I would cheat on the test.
Oh.
Like, Hannah would take pictures of the test for me. And I would, like, cheat on the test and, like, look at all the answers and stuff. Yeah, it was terrible. And then I failed because Mr. Lears caught me. And he, like, failed me immediately.
Just straight up, like, you only have enough in this class.
He just wants people to be honest.
Yeah, and I was like, the only thing that I passed was CPR, and if I would have like actually passed the class, I would have been CPR certified.
I got my CPR certification.
Yeah, no, I didn't get
I
that.
got,
I
got mine.
I graduated by the skin of my teeth.
Yep.
Like, literally, because I finished credit
The
recovery.
skin of your teeth.
Literally, listen.
Hold on, what was that? You ain't got no skin on your teeth.
No skin off my teeth.
That's on my back.
Anyway, I graduated at the last second because I did credit recovery, and I literally, because you remember how it was, we had that Thursday and then it was Friday. Friday was the seniors' last day, and then they had a whole other week of school.
Yeah.
I finished that Thursday.
Wow.
I finished that Thursday with my credit recovery.
When I was going there, I was busting through, like, worksheet after worksheet. I was just like, I don't care about nothing else. Boom, boom, boom. Here's one.
When I had to go in there that Thursday to finish my credit recovery,
Like,
I had 6 packets. And Hannah and I did it all in 2 hours. And it was literally like scribble in some of it. Like, it was the right answer, but it was unlegible. And Miss Robleski looked at it, and she's like, and she, like, graded it all right there. And it was like, she was like, you're good. You got it. You passed. Right. And then here's a funny story. So the next day, during seniors' last day, I don't know if you know this, but I didn't get to stay for seniors' last day because Hannah, my now fiance, was sick that day. And just, like, to touch on the subject, me and Hannah, like, I'm gonna be real honest, I don't know how we lasted throughout high school because we were assholes to each other.
Yeah.
But anyway, so she was sick, and I, like, I yelled at her in the office, in the nurse's office. I was like, how the fuck can you, like, leave on my last day? Because I was, like, a senior, and she was a sophomore, and I didn't know if we were gonna, like, last, you know?
Yeah.
And so I, like, yelled at her, I got really mad at her, and Mr. Kulik, like, pulled me to the side, and he's like, you have to leave. And I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, you have to leave. You can't be here. You have to, like, go. And I was like, you want me to go home? And he's like, you know what? Matter of fact, yeah, go home. And I was like, oh, fuck. I was like, fuck, what do you mean? Am I going to graduate? And I, like, left. And he, like, my mom called. And she was like, is Sammy going to graduate? Like, is this going to be a problem? He's like, no. She's just going to go home for the day. It's totally fine. And I remember,
it's so much anxiety.
This is so dramatic. So you remember where the Highlander Center is, and it's like the corner right there? I sat on the corner where the Highlander Center is in the field, and I cried. On the sidewalk, I like cried, and then I was like, I'm gonna eat everything, and then I got up and I went to my car and I like lit a cigarette and I started smoking.
You're like, this is stressful.
One of my mom's really shitty rollies that I stole.
Oh my
gosh. Terrible. That was such a terrible time. That day specifically.
This is like off topic of what we're talking about right now, but what we were talking about earlier, I remembered bus.
Oh, the bus, the short
bus. No, just the bus in general.
Oh, riding. Did you ride the bus?
Not when we moved to Robbinsville. I didn't ride the bus.
Dude, the bus.
Do you remember?
We were like one of the first people the bus picked up, and so we had to sit there throughout.
It was like a 45-minute drive.
Yeah,
but
it was bad.
It was when all of us were still in school.
Yeah,
I think it was like 1 year that we were all in school together, and so all three of us rode the bus.
Yeah,
and these people kept hitting me in the back of the head from like 2 seats behind me.
All we ever did was mind our business, have headphones in, and just chill.
I just wanted to sit down, listen to something or whatever, and then get to school. And they kept hitting me in the back of the head, and I don't remember what happened. Like, did Skylar grab? I think it was a girl that was doing it.
Skylar wasn't there. I think it was just you and me when this was happening.
No, I remember Skylar saying something that, like, she, like, yelled at her or, like, snapped at her or something.
I don't remember that.
But this girl kept hitting me in the back of the head, and either you or Skylar, like, grabbed her or something and, like, told her to stop or whatever. But I was just like, man, I just want to sit here and be on the bus and listen to something.
You're already tired. It's so early. There was a lot of things that happened on the bus. There was like this one girl who would just say just stupid things. Just stupid stuff.
I got made fun of for one of my drawings when I was on the bus.
What?
I was drawing a girl.
Uh-huh.
I
think I remember this.
I was drawing a girl in my sketchbook on the bus because I'm like, let me do something while I'm here. And I could hear them because I was sitting on the left side and they were sitting on, I think, either one behind me or like the one right across. And I was drawing and I could hear them making fun of my drawing.
And
I'm
business.
Like, and literally, it was middle school girls after I got into the high school. I was in high school and they were middle school. So when they got up to get to the middle school, I was like, it's not nice making fun of people's stuff. And they're like, we weren't even talking about you. I'm like, yes, you were. I heard you. And they're like, whatever. And I'm like, you guys are so stupid for that.
So much.
You know what?
Because they were making fun of like how she like looked, like my drawing looked.
I just hated all kids when I was in school. I just hated them all boys and girls alike, for different reasons. They're all like, girls are just bitches and guys are just fucking. They're just horny.
Yeah.
Literally. Like, I actually have a similar story to that because like, okay, when I did ride the bus when I was living in Columbia Heights in middle school, I was in 8th grade, and I was riding the bus home one day, and you know the little single seats in the back of the bus? Mm-hmm. I would sit there because that was like my favorite spot.
Yeah,
because I didn't have friends, so I just sat there, and there were these girls in front of me, like just a seat in front of me, and then like adjacent from me, like across the hallway, like that.
Yeah.
And they were sitting there, and they were being really loud, and they were like throwing stuff at each other, and like one of the things hit me, and I was like, "Could you guys stop?"
Yeah.
And they were like, "Can you stop?" to me. And I was like, why don't you just shut the fuck up? Like, I literally said that. And they were like, they're like talking shit to me. I don't exactly remember the whole exchange, but they were talking shit to me, and they kept doing it. And then finally, I just like got up.
You don't want to mess with me.
I got up and I was like, you need to stop because I'm about to beat your ass. Mm-hmm. And this girl stood. She was like, she said something to me about my mom and how she was fat or whatever. And I was like, this is why nobody loves you. I said that to her, and she legit decked me in the face. Yeah, she like decked me in the face, and I grabbed her by her hair. I'm so sorry, this is gonna be triggering.
Trigger one.
I grabbed her by the hair, and I just like threw her against the ground. Jesus. Yeah, and her face like hit the ground.
Oh my god!
And she like they had to get off the next stop. And so, like, she just sat, she was real quiet. Like, her nose was bleeding. She was just sitting there real quiet. She wasn't even crying or anything. And
like,
she
it was
just,
on the way home?
Yeah, and she, like, got off the bus. And she just, like, didn't say anything to the bus driver or anything. Just got off the bus because she knew she had it coming.
Yeah.
Yeah,
she decked you in the face.
Yeah, and she was like, I bet at that point, she never messed with me ever again.
No, of course not.
And I never got in trouble for it. I never got in trouble for it. She never got in trouble for it. Like, that shit was just handled on the bus. She's like, it just reminds me, like, now, because at the time I didn't think about it. But she was like, all right, you got me. Yeah. That's what it felt like.
And you sat back down like, that's what I thought. Like, they don't mess with me now.
And then I went back to listening to my cringy ass dubstep.
You're sitting like, you're like, yeah, killing it. Oh my god, you probably felt like a beast. Like, I'm sorry for that girl, but also, like, she had it coming. But, like, I can't imagine, like, fully, like, fucking somebody up like that.
And then just going back to listening to dubstep.
And just like, yeah.
I just fucked that girl.
Yeah.
Her face is fucked up forever.
Oh my god. That's some beast mode stuff. I really wish, like, okay, that sounds wrong, but, like, I really wish I've had moments of, like, full on, like, I'll beat your ass. Like,
I kind of wish, too. Like, I wish that, like, I almost
there's
got
some people
into
that
a fight
I
one
really
time.
wish I beat their ass. And I just was like, no.
Me too. You know, I beat a lot of people up when I was in school, and I wish that I would have done more.
You're like, there's still some people that I need
their
some people
ass out there that just need their ass kicked.
I've only almost got into a fight before, and it wasn't even because they were saying shit about me. They were saying shit about my friend, and I was getting irritated about it.
Yeah.
And then they're like, I'll fight you. And I was like, okay.
So do it then.
And then nothing happened. I was like ready for
You're
it. I was
standing there like
I was standing there being all like, okay, where are they? Like, are they gonna attack me? And nothing happened. And I was like, okay, I guess. I'm like, just tell me if they say anything more, I guess. And that was the only thing. I wish I got into a fight.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, it would just make it more interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So boring.
Character development.
Yeah.
For both you and that person.
Yeah. Like, alright, I'm not messing with that
That's
person
when you
anymore.
just go up to a random person and be like, do you want to fight tomorrow at like 2?
Yeah, I'll buy the flagpole.
Why? Be like, we'll both bring ice packs or something.
Do you remember when I remember being on the bus and it was like the last day of school, and there was these two boys fighting right outside the buses, and they were swinging on each other, and Wobleski came to try to stop them, and somebody punched him in the face.
Oh my god, yeah,
I remember. Everyone was looking, all the people on the buses had windows down, and you could look and you could see everyone's head sticking out the windows because the fight was right there, and Wobleski's trying to stop them. And
you best bet he did not come on all those buses and be like, remember Highlanders, keep it real.
No, not that. He was like, I need to go take a break. I need to grab that liquor from the cabinet. That happened to who did that happen to?
Sorry. It's just making you lose your
Who are you thinking of?
Beasley?
Beasley. That happened to Beasley too. I think in the hallway.
And he got hit?
Yeah. He like got a little like nicked or something. It was funny.
Oh my god.
It was so ridiculous.
I just remembered something.
I'm
sorry. I just remembered.
My story's very short. It was so ridiculous my junior year in the beginning because the new freshmen that came in fought like they were like 100 fights the first week of school.
That's
Dude,
insane.
oh my god, I remember Hannah telling me about that.
Yeah.
Were you and her in the same grade, or were you're younger? I can't talk.
I graduated
2020?
2021.
Okay, so she was a year older than you then.
But, so it had been our senior year. But it was so ridiculous that literally there was, after getting out of Visor, I think one time, there was a group of people that were watching the people fight. And I was like, again? And it lasted like, it was
Becomes
the
more
first
of an
like week or two.
Yeah. Again. Can I just get to class?
Seriously, because it was
Y'all
the first
in the
like
way.
2
Move.
weeks. It was the first 2 weeks where they were just like, there was another fight and it was freshmen. And I'm like, y'all need to relax.
I believe that.
Literally.
Y'all knew each
And
other
then
last
Roleski
year.
comes
Get
on
over it.
On the loudspeaker, he's like, remember, Highlanders,
Keep it
real.
real.
Do we know what real still stands for? Respect, education, attitude, and loyalty. I've been graduated for 4 years.
For real.
They nailed that shit into our brains, but no. You know what I remember?
What?
I don't know if you remember this, but I remember that I was in, I can't remember what grade I was in. I can't remember what class I was in, but I remember that there was a pool of blood on one of the staircases. It was on one end of, it was from the social studies hallway.
Okay. Yeah.
And it was going down to the pool hallway.
Mm-hmm.
And on the staircase, there was a legit pool of blood.
Jesus.
Oh my god.
Like, it was huge. And everybody was, like, walking around it. Like, what the
No,
fuck? Like, literally nobody.
Oh, not even to go get a teacher
The
to,
administrators didn't know about it. The teachers didn't know about it. Like, it had happened while everybody was in class. Come to find out, the later that day, somebody had gotten into a fight with somebody else, and they pushed them all the way down the stairs, and they didn't hit their head until that landing from the English hallway to the social studies hallway.
God.
That landing right there, they hit their head on the corner. They were totally fine, but your head just bleeds a lot. And I mean, I was like a sizable pool of blood too. It was like this, and like that she came back to school the next day and she had like 45 stitches in her head or whatever.
My god.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember that or
I
not.
don't remember that.
But there was like, nobody came and cleaned it up
I
until
think I
like
heard
fourth hour.
something about blood
Nobody-
on stairs, but I have no idea.
Yeah, and
what
nobody
happened.
came and cleaned it up until like fourth hour.
Ew.
Yeah, and it's like, now that I'm thinking about it, because like I just worked at Valley Fair last year, and they like talk about like bloodborne pathogens and stuff.
Yeah.
And even being around that, or like touching it, or like getting it on your clothes and stuff, you should throw it away. Because like, what if somebody has something that you don't?
Yeah.
You could get it from that. So it's like, unsanitary. You know what I mean?
Literally.
Our school is just really unsanitary, though, to be honest.
Have you had like at any time during school like a teacher that you really really liked that really impacted you?
Mr. Hodges.
Hodges.
Hodgepodge.
Hodgepodge.
Hodgepodge, that's what we should
Like,
call
is
him.
that like the only teacher that's ever really like made an impact on you?
I would say Mr. Hodges and Miss Candela.
Yeah.
And no, that's it. Mr. Hodges and Miss Candela, they were literally the best teachers I think that I ever had.
When I was in 4th grade, my teacher, Miss Grandal, she was a really, really good teacher, and she was really supportive. She caught me cheating on my spelling test. She, like, let me finish, and then after class, she pulled me over, and she just, like, can you take this test again? And she sat there and watched me do it. Because I had gotten 100% on the test, and then I sat there and took it in front of her, and I got literally 0. Like, I maybe got, like, 1 or 2 right, but I literally got, like, everything wrong. And she's like, it's not okay to cheat. And it's funny that I'm saying that she's, like, my favorite teacher, but she was, like, really nice. And, like, after that, she's, like, was really supportive of me and, like, tried to help me a lot. So she was, like, one of my favorite teachers that I've had. And then Mr. Countryman, the best teacher ever, best choir teacher ever.
I'm upset that I never got to have him as a teacher.
I'm so upset. Mr. Countryman was a really, really good teacher, and he was very, like, caring of everyone.
I never had him as a teacher, but I remember going to, because I didn't know that he was leaving, and he didn't know he was leaving until the very last day of school.
I hate that they got rid of him because he was too expensive. Like, literally, Heights was,
they
like,
got
about
the
their art.
choir
But
teacher
this is the
ever.
thing that I really liked about him is that, he didn't, that he didn't know that he was leaving till, like, the very last day of school. And so I went to the choir auditions.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I went to the choir auditions.
Yeah.
Like 3 or 4 weeks before the end of school. And I, like, went in there, and I remember telling him that I was really, like, nervous about it, because I was like, I've been told that I have a terrible voice, and, like, da-da-da-da-da. And he's like, well, why do you want to try out for a concert choir? And I was like, because I really like choir. And I think that because I've always been put in for soprano, and when I sing, like, the alto tenor parts, I feel like that is so much more comfortable for me, and I feel like I sound so much better. So he was like, okay, let's try that.
Yeah.
And he, like, gave me an alto part and a tenor part, and he, like, gave me the pitch that I should be singing at. And he was like, I don't know why. He didn't, like, gas me up, but he was like, I don't know why you're so nervous about your voice. You actually have, like, a really nice voice.
Yeah.
Like, especially, he's like, he's just, like, he said this.
Especially when you're, like, singing in your range.
Right, and he was like, you have a very nice blending voice.
Yeah.
Because that's, like, when you sing with a group of people, like, I don't have, like, a good solo voice because I get too nervous. I have, like, a really good blending voice. So, like, when I sing with, like, a certain choir, I'm really good at, like, I'm, like, one of those voices that kind of pulls things together a little bit. That's the way that he explained it to me. And he was like, I really want you to come back for trial, or for auditions again next week, and I want you to practice this piece, and I want you to, like, kill it. Yeah. So I did that, and I came back, and I killed it, and then I ended up being in concert choir with you. But then it didn't matter because Broski was our teacher, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then also, Miss Passage. She was a really good teacher for me.
Oh my god, I totally forgot about her. Yeah, I'd have to say.
I had her, like, all throughout high school. And she was just a really good teacher, and I hung out with her and just talked to her all the time.
Yeah. I remember specifically when I was in journalism my junior year, because you have to take it. You have to take, like, an English, like, elective. Yeah.
Elective.
I almost said alternative, too. But you have to take an English elective, so I took journalism, and I failed the first quarter.
Oh, yeah.
And she, like, sat me down, and she's like, what can I do to help you, like, get through this? And I was like, she's like, what can I be, like, how can I be a better teacher to you? And I, like, straight up didn't think she was going to let me do this, but I was like, could you just, like, let me write my own assignments? And she was like,
sure.
Yeah, you know, sure. So I worked for 2 quarters on rape culture.
Wow.
Like, I did, like, a whole project on rape culture. And I, like, presented it to the class. And I, like, made it, like, the discussion between the boys and the girls. Like, I asked the boys to sit on one side of the room and the girls to sit on the other side of the room. And I, like, made them debate. It took so long. It took 2 classes.
To debate.
2 whole classes to debate it. And she gave me, like, the highest grade that she gave. She gave me 100% for first quarter, second quarter, and third quarter.
Wow.
And then the last quarter that I had, I wrote a project about allegories.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, Dr. Seuss. And, because, you know, allegories are, like, metaphors kind of thing.
Yeah.
They're, like, metaphors, like, rhyming, like, that kind of stuff. I can't remember the exact description for it, but it's a lot about that. And I wrote a whole project for that, and then I presented it to the class. And she, like, really liked that, too. I mean, it wasn't anything like my rape culture thing, because, like, I did, like, a 20-slide thing on rape culture.
Wow.
That she loved.
That's
and she
crazy.
was like, she's like, I have never seen a class have a healthy debate like that lasted 2 classes.
Wow.
Yeah, it was, like, crazy. But I'm sorry I keep getting off topic, but I really loved her, too.
Yeah. But I think we should wrap up this podcast, and I definitely think we should either continue with school, or I know we wanted to talk more about, like, our friendships.
Yeah.
More specifically, or even just, like, experience or, like, struggles that we had growing up. I think we can really stress on that, because I think it's important to talk about things like that.
Yeah.
So, thank you so much for listening.
Yeah.
We had an amazing time with Sami, and go check us out on our Instagram and TikTok. They're all linked in our bio and in the description below.
Check out our last video that we posted last week.
Yes. And leave a comment down below, any, like, school experiences you had.
Yeah, did you get bullied?
Did you get bullied? Did you get in a fight? But,
like, subscribe, And we will see you guys next week.
Bye.